Hello, art people. Today we are going to write our names in 3D. So in order to write our names in 3D blocks, first we need to learn about one-point perspective. So one-point perspective is the technique of making something look three-dimensional by having all of the lines going to one point. That's why it's called one-point perspective. So go ahead and grab your ruler. We're going to make a horizon line. Gonna put it across your page here and draw a line with it. And I forgot the most important part of every lesson. Write your name and class at the bottom right hand corner of your paper. And your class, which is 4, and the first letter of your teacher's last name. Okay. Now we can go to the next part of this, which is to draw a vanishing point. You can just draw a dot right here. And you'll see why later. The next thing we're going to do is write our name. So the more letters you do, it's kind of harder. So just pick a version of your name that is maybe no more than 6 or 7 letters. I'm going to write Mrs. M, because that's 4 letters. Okay, so first, you are just going to, down here, write your letters that you picked for your name in uppercase. Okay, that's the first step. And now you're going to turn these lines into shapes by just drawing a line around them. So I'm going to go around each line, and whenever I get to the end of a line, I'm going to draw a line going sideways like that. And then back up and down, and I got to a point, so I'm going to go sideways, up, down, sideways, up, got to another point, so I'm going to go sideways, down, up, and I got to another point, so I'm going to go sideways. You go around like that. And then you can do the next one. So down, get to the point, go sideways, up, down, sideways. And then whenever you get to a curve, you just curve around it like that. And if there's ever a hole in one of your letters, you just have to draw on the other side of the line too. So you have to draw around both sides of the line. So I drew on the left side of this line, now I have to draw on the right side of it. I drew on the right side of this curved line, now I have to draw on the left side of it. See? Okay, let's do the S, or whatever your letter is. Okay. And the next step is to erase the lines on the inside of your shapes. And then after I erase, I go over my lines again because when I erase, sometimes I accidentally erase things that I didn't mean to erase. So the next step is to trace over your lines. And as you trace over your lines, if you see any parts that you need to erase better, you can do that. Okay. And the next thing you need to do is use your ruler. And you're gonna make the ruler touch the vanishing point here. And then you're gonna hold that with your hand because then you're going to move this end around. And you want this to stay on the vanishing point at all times as you move it around. Okay, so what you're looking for with your ruler, this side of your ruler, is corners. So I found a corner here. So just look on your first letter and look for a corner. And once you find your corner, you're going to make your ruler touch it. But like I said, it also has to touch the vanishing point at the same time. Then you're going to hold that still and get your pencil. And you're going to draw a line going from the corner up to the vanishing point. Like that. See? And then you leave this part of the ruler here. And then you're going to just move your ruler to the right. And once your ruler runs into another corner, you need to draw another line going to the vanishing point. Like that. And then you keep going. So you keep this here. Go down until you get to a corner. Did you see it ran into that corner? And again. Now, if it runs into a corner like this, see how I can't draw a line there because I have a letter in the way? You can skip that. If you can't draw it because there's a letter in the way, that's fine. You don't want to draw on top of your letter. So we can skip it. So we can go a little longer. Okay. Keep going. I get to skip that one because if I drew that one, it would go through my letter. So here's another weird one. When you get to the corners at the bottom of your paper or at the bottom of the letters, you're going to be able to draw it for a little bit, but then it will run into your letter. So draw it for a little bit, and once it runs into your letter, like I said, I don't want you to draw on top of your letter. So then you're done with that. That's fine, like that. Okay? You don't have to jump over it and finish drawing it at all. That's all. Okay? Here I go. So again, I got to another corner. Do I need to draw this line? No, I don't. Why not? Because I'm not allowed to draw on my letter. Let's go to this one. Should I draw this? Yes. Because it's not running into my letter. Uh-oh. I ran into my letter. What do? I just stop. Okay. So now you can see how the M is three-dimensional now. It goes back to that point. Very cool, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to do the next letter. Okay. What if the corner is inside a letter? You can draw it, but once it runs into your letter, you have to stop. Okay. Here's another corner. Okay. What if your letter is a curve and it doesn't have a corner on one of the sides? Okay. So if you go through your whole letter with your ruler like we're supposed to do, like this, we're going through our letter like this, right? If you make it through the whole letter like my R and it doesn't hit a corner on the very end, you're just going to draw a line from the last part that you touch with your ruler. You're going to draw a line from that last part up. See? Like that. I made this a little bit too thick, so I'm just thinning that out a little. So now that goes back. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, I've run, let's see. And that's all I have for this letter. So this S, there's not a corner to start me off with, is it? So just how I ended my R on a curve, I have to begin my S on a curve. So right when my ruler runs into it, I can go ahead and draw the line. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Here's a corner. Keep going. Here's a corner. Keep going. And I'm about to exit out of this shape, but I don't have a corner to exit me out. So I have to just use whatever the last part of the letter was, which is this spot right here. Okay, I'm gonna do my dot. If you mess up, just erase it and try again. Okay. That's it. That's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to chop. You know what? In the next video, we're going to color it. I was going to say, there's what you could do is if you wanted to make the letters not go all the way back, you can trim them off like this. If you draw the same line that your lines go from to your vanishing point, so these corners here, see there's a line in between there. If you repeat that line up here, if you repeat the top line of each of your shapes and then erase the rest of the line, then you can have it three-dimensional shapes like this. So, like that. You don't have to do this part if you don't want. Down there. So see how the shapes are shorter now? I can actually do this one too. Okay. So my M, it stops. Whereas the other letters go all the way through. So if you want to make your letters stop, you can, but you don't have to. So if you want to make your letters stop, what you do is you just draw the top line further back. So see how this is my top line that goes in between the two points? I just draw that line back here and then erase those lines now. So here's another spot. So I'll just draw this line up here and then erase that. And with my S, it's this top curve here. Draw that up here. And this line, draw this here. Okay. And then I have to do this line up here. This one here. Here. And then the top of this circle can go here. This line, chop this off, this. This and this here. This here. Erase. Okay. That was like kind of a tricky thing. So if you don't want to do that step, you don't have to, because it looks cool either way. Like, whether you chop it off or have it go all the way back to the vanishing point, it looks cool either way. So that's just if you want an extra challenge. So again, what you do to make that happen is all the lines on the top of your letter, you put them further back on your lines here, your vanishing lines. This one goes up here, this one goes here, and you kind of have to do the sides too. So this line went up here, curved line went up, this line went here. This line I didn't do one because it would be behind the R, so I skipped it. This line goes up. See how I just duplicated, I doubled this line and put it up. I did this side on this one too. And I did this on here. See that? Okay, in our next video, we're gonna color. Good job, you guys.